Today, I'm going to talk through PRDs, one of the most critical tools that product managers use. PRD stands for Product Requirements Document. This is a document where you can write down what you are planning to build and why. Now, PRDs are really important for a few basic reasons. So firstly, they help you get everyone aligned and make it really clear what the plan is. Secondly, they act as a single source of truth. So they're really useful for linking through to other important docs that you'll be using to build a feature, like designs, prototypes, and user research. Thirdly, they help you reduce risk and prevent you from making stupid mistakes that you could spot up front. And because of that, they help you save time and effort, preventing you from building things that you might not need to. And more than anything, PRDs should be an accelerator for teams. So don't worry about whether you're doing PRDs right. Just think about what is useful for your team and for your stakeholders, and cut everything else. With that said, I'm going to talk through what a typical PRD might look like and give you some inspiration for when you write your own. Now, a good way to think about this is that your PRD should mirror the product development process. So you're going to have a section that talks about what is the problem that you're trying to solve, and you're going to have some stuff on what is the solution that you're actually going to build, and you're going to think about how you're going to launch that and make that feature as successful as possible when it goes live. Let's run through the typical sections you might see in a PRD. So at the top, you're going to see some kind of intro or summary like this. This is all the basic information that just helps people understand what this PRD is about. So you might include things like who is the owner, so that could be you as the PM who's writing the PRD, which team is working on it, if you've got a 1 or 2 sentence summary that explains what the feature is, and maybe some notes on what is the status of the next milestone that you're working towards. Next, you're going to have a look at the problem definition section. So here you're going to talk about why you're building this feature. And you're going to include things like what is your objective, what are the success metrics you're hoping to change, who are the stakeholders involved, and then maybe some details about what is the context for building this feature and what are the scope and constraints that you're working within. After the problem definition, you're going to have some details on the solution. So here you're going to include maybe some design things like, what are the user flows? What are the designs you've got? Do you have any prototype links that you want to point people at, as well as any research and analysis that support what you're building? It's also really helpful to have a decision log so that you can note down why you've taken certain design decisions and gone in the direction that you have. After the solution definition, then it's useful to have a section on launch readiness. So this explains how you're going to release your new feature and make it as successful as possible. So on the testing side, you'll want to talk about how you're testing and tracking the feature so you can see what the impact is. You want to have details on the marketing plan and how people are going to hear about your feature, the announcements you're doing to customers. You also want to have any details for support teams that need to know how the product has changed or can talk people through how new features work. You might include other things like FAQs and timelines if they're useful as well. Finally, you want to include a section for impact. So whenever you build a feature, you're trying to do this to build a better customer experience and better business impact. And you want to look at the results that you've got from your feature and see if that's actually been the case. So here is where you're going to record any qualitative user feedback that you've received, any quantitative analysis you've done, and also note down any next steps or any links to follow-up phases or other features that have been inspired by this one. Okay, that's the Hustle Badger template that we have for PRDs, and the link is in the notes below. We've also pulled together a load of other people's examples of PRDs, which you can look at for inspiration, and the link for those are in the notes below too. Hopefully you found this video useful, and if you do, then please subscribe and check out all the amazing templates and advice that we have on Hustle Badger.